Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here and bearing the wind and chill. We'll try to keep things moving quickly along here because of that. But thank you for being here. I'm Steve Bidlack with Green Savvy Racing Promotions, the company which owns and operates the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. On behalf of the city of St. Petersburg, our team, IndyCar, NASCAR, Firestone, and all of our great partners, we really do appreciate you being here this Thursday. Mayor Welch will be joining us here towards the end. He's wrapping up another event at City Hall, so he'll be available for comments later on as well. But upcoming February 27th through March 1st is the 22nd edition of the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. As you can see around us, the grandstand build project has already begun. Behind me, the yacht club is going into the water, and then the official track build project will begin on Monday, February 9th. In a moment, you'll be hearing from each of these dignitaries and drivers behind me. We'll just introduce them as they come up to the microphone so we can keep things moving along. And we will do an organized group photograph behind the backdrop, and then the Dateline concrete block as well. So once that is wrapped up, then they'll be available for one-on-one media interviews. So also with me today is Austin and Amy, and then Alexis. They can all help you organize interviews at the end. So just feel free to grab one of us if you need a special assistance. But first, let me introduce Kim Green, our owner, chairman, and CEO of Green Savvy Racing Promotions. And he's going to talk a little bit about some of the historic firsts coming to this 22nd annual event. Kim?
Thanks, everybody. And this is not my fault, the weather. Mr. Chris Steinocker from the Chamber is in charge of weather, so please lodge your complaints with him. It was beautiful yesterday, and typically Chris and the city council and the mayor deliver fabulous weather for race weekend, so get on it, please. Again, thanks for being here. This is the 22nd Grand Prix here in St. Petersburg, the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, and the 16th season starting. So for 16 years, we've been the first race of the season for the IndyCar series, and I think we're going to end up with probably one of the more exciting opening weekends to IndyCar season, along with the other series that are helping us open up the racing series in St. Pete. In IndyCar, there's been a few changes. There's been some drivers move around, some additional drivers. Got a couple of famous names from Formula One. Schumacher, Michael Schumacher's son, is debuting in the IndyCar series. Will Power, who has a great reputation around this racetrack, has moved from Penske to Andretti Global. It's going to be exciting. Those guys haven't raced since September. The teams have been rubbing on those race cars, and they're ready to go. They're going to do a test in Sebring next week, and they're all really looking forward to getting here to St. Petersburg. We're very well supported also with the Road to Indy, so the Indy Next Series, which is a great stepping stone that goes on to help young drivers get their way into the IndyCar series. I think we have 24 cars here coming this year, very competitive series, and many of the IndyCar drivers have come through those ranks to get to the IndyCar series. Also, the USF 2000 series, which is the most junior series we'll have here from the Open Wheel series. MX5 series do a fabulous job entertaining each other and the crowd, and they rub on each other pretty hard. And then we've got this new addition, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Kevin and myself, with our other venues, have quite a lot of experience with NASCAR, running Xfinity, the NASCAR trucks, and the ARCA series. They will put on a great show. That's a Saturday afternoon race. I have to also thank Fox Television. It has in its second year with the IndyCar series, and they've really elevated the show. It'll be a live Fox Television show also for the NASCAR Truck Series on the Saturday, and the IndyCar Series on the Sunday. And we're going to see some exciting camera footage from those guys. A lot of coverage on FS1 and FS2 with the various other practice and qualifying sessions. It's going to be a fabulous weekend, and I think that the city of St. Petersburg for the last 22 years has been such a great partner. So the combination of private and public partnership, I think, has really shown what can be done in the motor racing world, bringing an event. This is more than a race these days. It's a big gathering, a big weekend where everybody comes and enjoys all the festivities. So thank you, the city of St. Petersburg. Obviously got to thank the fans. The fans have been supporting this race for this 22 years, and it's built up to be one of the best races, certainly one of the best IndyCar races in the country, and we're very, very proud to put it on. It wouldn't work without a fabulous team. I'm lucky to have a very good partner in the business, and he is sort of the backbone that helped us get the business going when we started here, survived the COVID period, and so I want to hand it over to my business partner, Kevin Savory. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I know Kim gave Steinacher some sass, but just so everybody knows his plan, this rain overnight knocks the pollen out and washed off our racetrack. So, Chris, awesome. Thanks so much. Great job. Again, that's just the city of St. Petersburg and the Chamber and Visit St. Pete Clearwater. Attention to every detail. So, again, appreciate everything they do for us. Kim and I are blessed to have what we consider to be the best team in the business. And so several of them are here today. Jim Terrio has been working with us now for many, many years, and he heads up the track build. Chad Seifert works with him. Matt Borkin in sales. Who else am I missing? Obviously, Steve Bidlack and Alexis. Austin is here somewhere. He just joined the team. Hey, Austin, good to see you. Haven't got to say hi to him yet. Am I missing anybody? Well, again, thanks so much for all that you do for us. And, again, for those of you that may know Kim and I, we can be very, very demanding and very, very attention to detail. And, our team does such a great job living up to every expectation that we put on them. And it starts with this track build. 22 years ago, it took 75 days from the start to the finish. And this year, starting on Monday, February 9th and finishing on March 5th, literally 25 days from start to finish, including 4 event days. So, again, just an incredible job for our guys to be able to get on the city streets and get off the city streets. And so important for us because the city has changed so much, right, over 20 years that, we need to get out of the way. And so very much appreciate our team for everything they do on that. That would not be possible without a couple great partners. Steps Towing and Transportation, they do a great job for us. Todd Stepp, Steve McLaren, their CFO, Todd Riley, who heads up their operations. Again, they just do such a great job for us and appreciate everything that they do. And then Ring Power and their team, literally whatever piece of equipment we need, they trot it out here, and it's just made our build so efficient. So a big thank you to everything that they do. And then obviously, I'm not sure the mayor actually knows this, but there's several of the city staff that essentially become really Firestone Grand Prix guys for about a month. And so I see Tony and Sean and Beth over there. So again, thank you guys for everything that you do. And obviously, we couldn't do it without you. So thanks so much for all of that. I think in a way, we also have some great partners with the Chamber, and the Thursday Chamber Media Lunch is just such a great way to get started. And so, Chris, thanks so much for everything that you do for us. Brian, who heads up the Visit St. Pete Clearwater, and his CMO, Steve Grimes, everything that they do for us. And again, I think they've really bought into, what a national and international event this is for us, and they've become an incredibly great partner, both financially and also from an activation standpoint, and help really bring this event to life. And it really allows the fans and visitors that come here to really experience what Visit St. Pete Clearwater is all about. And again, whether it's great restaurants, great beaches, great entertainment, the arts, music, and also 2 unbelievable nationally televised car races. And again, we're so proud of that. 23 years ago, we started with how do we work around this airport, and early on it was a pretty complicated endeavor, and now it's become much less so. But again, our guys are so efficient at it, and I see Walt over here with Albert Woodett, and again, thank you so much for everything that the airport does for us over the next few weeks. We promise we'll give you your airport back as soon as we can. They've also created some really incredible videos as part of the experience of Albert Woodett and what it means to this community. And so we'll be sharing those with the fans here over the next few weeks. But again, just incredibly exciting. I think, obviously, none of this would be possible without what Kim mentioned a few minutes ago, Fox Entertainment, everything that they do, up until including the point that they actually invested in Penske Entertainment and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and IndyCar. And so, again, we're so proud to partner with Roger Penske and Penske Corp. And, again, they've been a great partner for many years, and we look forward to many to come. And, again, he's a very demanding guy, and Kim and I like that. That's fair game. We need to do that job as well. And then, obviously, Kim and I got a call over the summer from Ben Kennedy and said, hey, I'm thinking about what would you guys think if we put this truck race on in St. Petersburg? And, it'll be the first ever street race for the trucks. And Kim and I were somewhere between, that's a great idea, to hell yeah. And so I think for us, we're so excited about the show that these guys are going to put on. And, there's a phrase with them that rubbin's racing, and let me tell you, they are going to live up to that. So again, we're just so much looking forward to that. So a big thank you to Ben Kennedy and the France family for giving us that opportunity to put this show on here, and obviously for Fox for what they stepped in to do to actually have another 2.5-hour live show on Fox along with the IndyCar race. So again, very excited about that. And again, for us, it's just a blessing to be here. And, for Kim and I, it seems like just yesterday we started this, and now we have gray hair. I don't know what the hell happened. But anyway, a big thanks to my wife for everything that she does to support me and put up with me. Anyway, now it's my pleasure to turn this over to Chris Steinacher, who's much more eloquent than I am, and Kim, and you'll get to hear a little bit about the Chamber in St. Petersburg. Chris?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Congratulations. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Chris Steinacher, President and CEO of the St. Petersburg Area Chamber of Commerce. First, let me get the weather thing out of the way. I was inspired by Puxatawny, Pennsylvania. And I was like, how do they know when spring comes up? Well, here's how we know spring comes up. When we see these guys on our track, on our roads, when we see these trucks coming in hauling all this stuff, that means we got 3 weeks before springtime, buddy. That means 3 weeks for all of our businesses to get ready, for all the spring breakers that come here, for all the fans that come here. And I do want to thank Kim and Kevin. Holy cow, guys, thank you for 22 years of allowing us to show the world what we are, but also, very importantly, to allow our registers to ring. Our cash registers need to ring. Our businesses need these kind of activities, and we appreciate the support of our Visit St. Pete Clearwater partners to allow this to happen. But just think about all the folks that come in here, and they spend their money in our community, and those cash registers ring, and those aren't even the race fans yet. Those are the people building these racetracks and all the crews that come in. They go to Publix. They go to the deli. Sometimes they go to our local bars at night. A lot of times they do that, and we like that, and we want them to spend their money in our community. So we do this because it's fun. We do this because we have the postcard of paradise that everybody loves to see, but we do this because our community demands that we create the kind of jobs that these kind of races do. These are big money people. These people spend a lot of money to make sure they do what they do well, and they expect quality. So our community provides them quality. Thank you to our city team for continuing to bring us quality. And all those partners from Kawa Coffee to Steps and other, those are businesses that those families go home every night and feed their kids. So Kim and Kevin, you're feeding a lot of families, but also, holy cow, millions and millions of people across the world now are going to see not just that we're at an IndyCar racetrack, but holy cow, that we're going to have NASCAR trucks for the very first time running on the road here and starting a trend in St. Pete. What else can you expect from our community? We're not done yet. This is the last of this because in 3 weeks, spring break starts. I hope you're part of it. Please come on down, and please know that we've learned how to do this so well that we can bring more people. So if you think, oh, it's going to be too crowded or whatever, we're like, we know how to do this now. We've got plenty of parking, plenty of ways for you to get down here. Our Sunrunner works. We're ready for everybody to make sure they can experience the beauty and the fun of this race team. Let's have some fun. I'll see you soon. I'd love to introduce Brian, who runs the Visit St. Pete Clearwater, to talk to you about all those eyeballs that get to see us as well. Brian, please.
Well, good morning. I'm so amped to be here today to kick off the 22nd running of this great St. Pete Grand Prix right here in downtown St. Petersburg in front of our beautiful waterfront. And, you know, it's events like this that St. Pete Clearwater has become known for. And it's events like this that we will continue to attract to the destination. Not only are you going to see so many tens of thousands of visitors come to the destination to see the race, they're going to pack our local streets, they're going to pack all of our hotel rooms, but in addition to that, we're going to get millions and millions of eyeballs from around the world, and that's going to serve as a first impression, an introduction to the destination for potential visitors around the world. And I can't think of a better first impression to make than on the streets of downtown St. Petersburg with the St. Petersburg Grand Prix. I want to thank Kim and Kevin and your teams for what you've done with this race. This is so much more than just a race. It's a week-long celebration of events, and every time that we have Steve or I have a great idea on how we can really bring the destination to life, they're willing to listen, and 9 times out of 10, they make it happen. So we're appreciative of that. And I want to talk a little bit about just what this race, tourism, other races like this mean to the community. And when these visitors come in, they are paying local taxes. They're spending their money around town. One of those taxes that they pay is the tourist development tax. We take that tax and reinvest it into events like this to bring them here to the destination. And these events bring world-class entertainment right here at home to our residents, where they get to experience these things right in their backyard. We also take that tourist development tax and invest it into capital projects that enhance residents' quality of lives. Projects like the expansion of the Dali Museum across the parking lot, the renovation of the Palladium Theater, as well as the recently completed beach nourishment project. And so when those visitors come in to experience this event next month, or this month now, I guess it is, they're going to spend those local dollars, they're going to spend those local taxes, and they're going to ultimately take away from the tax burden on our local residents. And last year alone, because of this event and others like it, those visitors, the local dollars that they spent brought down and saved every single household here in Pinellas County just about $2,000 in local taxes. So it's incredibly important. That's why we do this. That's what it's all about. We can't wait to welcome all of our residents from around the world here later this month, and we can't wait to get racing on February 27th. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris and Brian, for being here and your passion and enthusiasm for the Grand Prix. It's vitally important, so we appreciate it. Next, we're going to bring up to the microphone Lorraine Parker, Chief Nursing Officer from Orlando Health Bayfront Hospital. Lorraine?
So we are so proud to continue to be the healthcare sponsor for this event. It's one of my favorite events that we sponsor. Normally I'd come out here and talk to you about skincare and how you need to put sunblock on, and not appropriate for today, but I think I heard we will have Chamber of Commerce weather February 28th, and we will have our sunblock available to all. But today I'm going to shift gears because it is Heart Health Month in February. And one of the things that we're proud to work with the Grand Prix on is training as many volunteers and staff as possible to get CPR training. And unfortunately, we do have events during the heat and climbing up and down grandstands that maybe people are not in the fittest condition to do, and then they end up needing our services. 350,000 people a year have cardiac arrest outside of the walls of the hospital, and often at events in the heat. For people that get CPR within 2 minutes of that cardiac arrest, they have an 81% chance, if they get to the hospital, of walking out that door and making a full recovery. For those that don't, it's only a 20% chance. So having our staff here and having as many people with the Grand Prix trained to provide that training, it might only be one person, but if it was you or your loved one, you'd want that 81% chance. So we're really proud to continue to partner as many ways as possible to be the healthcare provider for the Grand Prix. And it's just something that's so near and dear to our heart, being, you know, the level 1 trauma center, level 2 trauma center here in Pinellas County, that we're there for them on these events. And hopefully they won't need us, and that's the way we like to keep it. But in case you do, we're going to make sure we have everybody trained all around the premises of the event to make sure if it's your loved one that they will get the care they need. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorraine. Now it's time to talk to the stars of our show for the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg weekend, the drivers. But first, I wanted to point out these two show cars. We have the IndyCar show car to my right, so we really appreciate Firestone making that available for visuals. And then also want to point out this Mazda MX-5 car and really thank Alex and his team at Power Design. We asked about this car a week ago, and they made it happen to transport the car down from Alabama to here today. So that's an extremely appreciated effort for getting the car here. But the first driver I want to bring up is Ryan Leach, who will be driving this number 98 Mazda MX-5 Cup car for Power Design. Ryan, a fun fact about him, he used to actually teach teen defensive driving at our track, Middle House Sports Car course for about 3 years, and also did, about 40, 50 days a summer traveling on the road teaching young drivers defensive driving skills. So it's great to see him again and see him work up the racing ladder now to Mazda MX-5 Cup. So, Ryan, I guess, first off, just tell us how excited you are to take this next big step in your racing career in Mazda MX-5.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, Steve used to kind of keep us out of trouble at the racing school over there at Mid-Ohio. But, yeah, this is super exciting. It was came together really last minute, I would say. We found out about a week before Daytona that we'd be running this program here. Super thankful to Power Design, because without them I definitely would not be here. And thanks to the mayor and everybody with the city of St. Pete for putting on this event. I'm a local of St. Pete. I've been coming to this race probably for the past 15 years, I would say. So it's pretty cool to finally be able to race here.
Ryan, what preparations have you been doing to finally race on the streets of St. Petersburg?
Yeah, we've been going over some data with Sparky over here. He's the team owner, Spark Performance. Give them a shout out. Do a lot of data, video, and we're going to be testing at Barber here in a couple weeks. I don't have much seat time in the car at all, so that's going to be a big help.
Thanks so much, Ryan, for being here. He'll be available for some additional one-on-one interviews afterwards.
Thanks, Steve.
Now I'd like to bring up another St. Petersburg resident, Nikita Johnson, to the microphone. Nikita, he's been on a rapid climb in open wheel racing. So to use baseball terminology, he's moved up to the AAA of IndyCar racing. So he's on the last rung of the ladder before a IndyCar, and raced a few Indy Next by Firestone events last year, and now we'll be doing a full season. So Nikita, just tell us what your expectations are in Indy Next.
Yeah, so it's going to be my rookie season, first year doing Indy Next. The goal is to get top 3 in the championship. Obviously, we'd love to win the championship, but there's so much talent now in Indy Next, and it's getting even tougher and tougher every year. But yeah, we want to come out strong at St. Pete, go win again. Won in 2000 and USF Pro, so hopefully we can do it again in Indy Next. But I want to give a huge shout out to Green Savoy Racing and Mayor Ken Welch, and then everybody from Firestone and all the workers here at St. Pete that get this event going. I mean, without them, we wouldn't have this, and it's such an amazing event. You know, it's amazing to go see all the race fans on the weekend and all the tourists come into town and just watch one of the greatest races on the calendar. So, I can't thank them enough for everything they do.
Nikita, you've raced across tracks in Europe. How does this St. Petersburg track compare to some of those you've been on?
It's pretty technical. There's a lot of bumps here. Obviously it's a street circuit, so coming from all the FIA tracks in Europe and running with F1, this track has some taste to it. It's not a little bit boring like you see on some of those tracks in Europe where it's all flat. So it's pretty cool, and we have a lot of off-camber and on-camber corners. There's big crests here, because we got to get the water to get off the road. So there's a lot of big crests here in a few parts of the track. So it makes it pretty interesting. So yeah, just love it. The walls are always close, and just very. I think for me, it's my favorite track on the race. For Indy Next. So it's just amazing.
And then finally, tell us about the kickoff party you'll be hosting race week.
Yeah, so we'll be hosting the 4th year, the kickoff party at O'Malley's Bar and Grill in Gulfport. So, I think we'll start around 3 p.m., 4, but I would have to double check. I'll be, posting the flyers, so go follow me at Nikita Johnson Racing. I'll give you all the updates when we get closer to it, but it's on the Wednesday before the Grand Prix, so coming out, we're going to have a few live bands there, so it's going to be a great time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nikita. Now I'd like to bring up Daniel Dye from Daytona Beach, Florida. We appreciate him traveling over here to the Gulf. Daniel will be making history with the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, running their very first laps on a street course. Also, Daniel is racing for Colleague Racing, one of 4 drivers that will be driving the Ram factory trucks, re-entering the sport in 2026. So Daniel, tell us a little bit about getting that call from Colleague Racing and your excitement to get one of those rides.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. Like you said, being from Daytona Beach, I always enjoy coming down to Florida to escape the cold weather of North Carolina. It's been snowing there all week, and this is worse. So I'm looking forward to getting back home tonight. But yeah, excited to be one of those. Actually, we're going to have 5, if you can believe it, Ram trucks in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series this year, starting off at Daytona International Speedway next week. And obviously being from Daytona and my family being involved in business in the Volusia County area, I know how important events like these are to the community. So super pumped to get to come to St. Petersburg and get to race on this street course here in a couple weeks. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty gnarly. We're working our butts off. We're a little bit behind. St. Pete's going to be one of those races that we're like, so we're working on it. But we're ready for Daytona. Then we'll go to Atlanta and get to come right back to Florida. So however many races that they'll put on the schedule in Florida, I'm happy with. So now we're up to 3. I'm cool with it.
Daniel, any idea what a lap time might look like for a truck here in St. Pete? An IndyCar does about a minute on a hot lap. So any in simulations you've seen of what to expect with a truck?
Yeah, so you mentioned simulations. We are still in the development stage of our simulator that we use for the drivers and for the teams. With the Ram deal being so new, there's still a lot of those things to get done. But if you look at this IndyCar, it's got a lot more help on the aerodynamic side than our trucks do. Ours look as much like that Ram 1500 sitting in the parking lot as we can. And if you take a look at that one, there's not a big spoiler on the back. There's not a big wing on the front. And there's a lot more body panels on that thing than there is this thing. So we'll go quite a bit slower, I think. But you talked about Rubbins Racing. I think it'll be, sorry to the IndyCar guys. I think we're going to be a little more exciting to watch on Saturday afternoon. So we'll be running into each other. It's cool that Dario Franchetti's coming back. Actually, I think it's his Truck Series debut, a 3-time IndyCar or Indy 500 champion. So going to be some cool guys in that race. And I hope to not watch them drive away from me. I hope to at least get to hang on to some of those guys. But, again, really looking forward to it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the city of St. Petersburg for putting this race on for so long and finally letting us come and join the party.
Thanks so much, Daniel, and good luck here in St. Pete. Finally, bring up from Chicago, Illinois, David Malukas. He'll be driving the number 12 Verizon Chevrolet for Team Penske. David, you're now with one of the premier teams in IndyCar racing. What was it like to get the call from the captain?
Yeah, well, firstly, I got to talk to Chris afterwards. Didn't give me the memo on this weather. I came in thinking, I'm gonna go to the beach after. I packed real light, and I see everybody's in jackets, and I didn't get no memo. I'm over here shaking in the corner, but no call from the captain. Obviously, that was a dream come true for me. Obviously, getting that phone call. It was actually in the car ride. I was leaving from one of the races, and I told everybody to shut up in the car. I'm like, Roger's calling, hold on, and. It was awesome. I got to talk with him, started screaming when he told me the news, and obviously I muted myself and unmuted. I'm like, yes, thank you, Roger, very much for this opportunity. But no, it's fantastic, and I can't wait to get started here with Team Penske. A lot of work in this preseason, obviously leading up to this first race here at St. Petersburg. Just standing here, hearing everybody talk, it's crazy how much effort and things are being put into place here for this race to happen. And back in 2024, when I had my wrist injury, although it was a bad time for me, I was able to get some good experiences, and one of those experiences being I was able to experience St. Petersburg as a fan. And I'll tell you what, that was one of the best experiences I've ever had here. What a great way to kick off the start of the season. I mean, you have good weather. I think that's what Chris's plan is now, to have the bad weather today. So once the race comes, it's going to be some good stuff. So yeah, very, very good to be here, and I can't wait to get us going.
David, you've won on the streets of St. Pete and Indy Next by Firestone. What do you remember from your 2021 win here?
I remember quite a bit, actually, because I remember before that it was 2020. It was a COVID year, and so for Indy Next on that season, we ended up getting canceled. However, we did do one practice session here before that season ended, and we ended up being fastest on that practice session in 2020. So I remember putting on my Instagram bio, I was a 2020 Indy Next champion. the only session, but we came back to 2021, and I remember coming in and we finished that job and we got the win, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was a great way to start off that season. And then, since then, we joined IndyCar and been here ever since. And like I said, this is one of my favorite courses to be at. The weather, the track itself, it's unique. It's a street course, so you get that experience from all the fan base being here. You can have all this nice location, the attractions, even going up and down the street. I remember between sessions, I would go get this good coffee over here on the stands, getting the good coffee, all this good food. It's just a fantastic experience. So, yeah, it's been many years coming here, and I can't wait to go for 26. Sorry, I'm shaking over here, It's like speaking so fast, I'm trying to control myself. It's so cold.
One last question for you. You've referred to yourself as Little Dave. until you get that first IndyCar win? What's it going to take to be Big Dave?
Yeah, it's a good one. I accidentally gave myself that name. I was in an interview and saying, "Oh, I'm racing with all these veterans over here, and it's just little Dave." And that the name ended up sticking. And I told myself and my fans and everybody, I'm gonna, promote from that name once I get my first win. But I didn't think I'd still be entering 2026 without the win. So it's taking some time. It's starting to grow some hair here, but. No, we got obviously coming here with Team Penske, getting the call from the captain and all the hard work coming to this point and the wrist injury, all of it. Everything happens for a reason, and I think this year we're going to have a lot of success, and what better way to get a win than with Team Penske here. So hopefully we can start off the season right. I know Scott McLaughlin has a really good history here. He's a fantastic driver, so we're going to be able to get a lot of data from him. But we're going to be we're going to be getting that win to promote to Big Dave. Maybe you could say right now we're medium Dave, but yeah, Big Dave, we need to get that win, and we got to do it sooner or later. So,
Thank you very much, David. Good luck on Sunday, March 1st. And then finally, our most important guest of today, the 54th Mayor of St. Petersburg, Florida, Mayor Ken Welch.
All right, I'll send you the check for calling me most important. It's on the way. How are y'all doing this morning? On behalf of the city of St. Pete, we couldn't be more excited to kick off the 22nd running of the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Pete. Now, this is a busy day for us. We've got a council meeting today, and that's why I'm at the end of this agenda. But as I'm walking up, I think I heard Chris Steinacher promising good weather. And so I'm going to double down on that Joe Namath promise of a win. Now, we dated ourselves on Joe Namath, but that's a promise of a Super Bowl win. And speaking of the Super Bowl, I was watching the playoffs, and we were all pulling for the Seahawks for many reasons. But in the middle of that, Brian, I saw a commercial for this race in the middle of the playoffs. And that's the kind of worldwide recognition we get from this race. I want to thank Green Savary Racing, Firestone, IndyCar, all the partners that make this happen. Y'all have just been great to work with, and this race is St. Pete now. And I also want to thank our city team led by Tony Lino and their staff. I think we're building up and taking down in record times. We're going to press that again this year, I'm told. Tony's kind of shaking his head maybe. But thank you for the partnership. Thank you for the leadership going forward. There were just a couple notes on here. I'm a truck guy and a Harley guy, so I'm hyped about the truck races that are coming. And I'm told this is the first street circuit in 32 years for the truck series, so I'm hyped about that. Also, again, mentioning what I saw during the playoffs on Fox, that we're excited to have Fox as our broadcast partner again, giving the city of St. Pete and Pinellas County that exposure really worldwide. And you can tell even now when the sun peeks through, the weather's pretty good. As a St. Pete guy, I'm now finding out what wind chill actually means. So when we get to the race, we're going to have great weather. This is a great partnership, and I'm confident that this will be a partnership that continues to lead our city forward for years to come. Let's get ready to race, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Welch, for cutting out time in your very, very busy schedule today. Now I'm going to turn the microphone over to Alexis Boyer. She's our coordinator of media and public relations. She, along with our other teammates, again, Austin and Amy, are here to help. And I'll bring Alexis to the microphone to wrap us up.
Hi, everyone. Just as a reminder, if you still need to submit your media credentials, you can do that at gpstpete.com. gpstpete.com is also where fans can buy tickets. And